boys and girls, and welcome to my story about two disciples on the road to Emmaus. We find this story in Luke 24, verses 13 to 49. Now, boys and girls, on the third day after Jesus was crucified and put in the tomb, two of his disciples were walking along a road out of Jerusalem. One of them was Cleopas. They were on their way to a village called Emmaus, 11 kilometers out of the city. They were talking about the events that led to Jesus being put on a cross to die. As they talked, a man came up and walked alongside them. It was Jesus, but they were kept from recognizing him. The stranger, who was Jesus, asked, "What are you talking about?" They stopped and stood still. Looking sad, Cleopas asked, "Are you the only person in Jerusalem who does not know what has happened?" "What things?" asked the stranger. Jesus of Nazareth was handed over by the chief priest to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. The disciples exclaimed sadly, "We truly hoped he would save us." But then, this morning, when some of our women went to the tomb, it was empty. His body was missing. Some of our friends went to the tomb to see what had happened, and it was definitely empty. "How foolish you are not to believe what the prophet said would happen many years ago," said the stranger. "They told us that the Savior would have to suffer before rising to glory." Then the stranger explained how first Moses, then other prophets had written down that the Savior of the world would die and rise from the dead. As they approached Emmaus, the stranger looked as if he was traveling on further. They invited him to stay with them, and he agreed. As they ate together, the stranger, remember who was Jesus, took the bread, broke it, and gave it to them. Immediately, boys and girls, God allowed the two disciples to see who the stranger was. Yes, Jesus. At that moment, Jesus disappeared from their sight. Weren't our hearts warmed as he spoke to us and explained what is written about the Savior? They said to each other. They immediately got up and rushed back to Jerusalem to go and tell everyone. The end.